kid's notebook, and it's like, well, it's a Justin Bieber notebook. It's,
yeah.
All right, in the bottom left, one of our many Zerks here at this tournament, he is True. Gets me every time, his face floating over there.
And his clan name is O True O.
And his opponent here in the upper right, our Terran player, the only one left here in this tournament, Bomber.
Really cool kid, Bomber. Used to live with him back in the Easter House. Was very good at English even back then. That was like 6 years ago now.
I think you mean he spoke English well, Artosis.
God. Better than me. That's for sure.
Okay, we have a pool first.
Yeah, that's a quick pool too.
Yeah.
In fact, that is...
what's the dilly?
It's like a 12 pool?
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, that's a rather quick spawning pool. What is the meaning of this? Tesis.
I don't know, Artosis.
I mean, if it's against like a command center first, it's good.
Bomber's been aggressive historically in a lot of his games. He'll win a game and then he'll actually do some crazy proxy stuff. It might be he's trying to blind counter that.
He does more like command center firsts than a lot of players.
Yeah, he does a lot of command center firsts, and we have seen him do like these crazy rushes before. It's not as popular now, but I mean, maybe he's thinking, okay, I could just blind counter, you know.
But you know what?
Who was it that did that to Marine? This always happened to Marine King, I believe. Is like people like Nesty would just blind counter him.
Oh, Supernova.
Supernova, thank you.
Supernova was always going command center first. Yeah, that was specifically Nesty. I think on Daybreak, he's just like, whatever, and he just like early cooled and killed him.
Yeah.
Poor Supernova. He has the worst stuff happen to him. It's like the guy that steps in the rig and hits him in the head.
Then he tries to sit down, but the bench that he's on is wet paint.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Lings are headed up north now.
Yeah, but there's a wall in. Bombers Marines are behind it. I guess he can probably kill the SCV, making the... I don't think he can force a cancel. We'll see. I mean, if he kills the SCV really quickly, perhaps. But look at that. Even with that bunker there, that messes everything up a bit as well.
Okay, so he drives... Oh! All right, the Wallen does get up. He gets the bunker first, and he wants to immediately get this SCV, because if he can get a cancel in any way, that would be huge. But even just delaying the command center is really nice. Looks like, though, there's enough stuff here from Bomber. I don't think True can do too much more.
Yeah. And this gives Boxer a distinct advantage in this game, but it's not as big an advantage as he had in the last game. The one he had in the last game was like pretty gigantic, like almost impossible to come back from against someone like Bomber, but still True fought well, so I'm still thinking True's going to make this quite a good game.
Okay, nice. So coming here again with those Lings, the SCV narrowly escaping. And
if this was StarCraft 1, he would have lost 4 SCVs right by now, easily.
That's so funny.
Probably he would have closed the wall.
I love hearing your traumatized view of what it was like to be Terran player in StarCraft.
It was a lot harder than StarCraft 2. A lot harder.
You're trying to tell me like the probe is the most dangerous unit in the game.
It
and,
was.
Like, you could just do so much damage to a Terran when he scouts it.
Then go home
build
and build a hidden
gas.
Stargate and makes carriers. I'm like, okay.
The probe harasses Marines, steals a mineral, takes your gas, blocks your factory add-on with a pylon before then running under the factory to delay it landing. To then go home and make a proxy pylon. And and carriers.
Right, so looks like he's going straight into probably Banshee play here. He is getting the 3rd command center as well, so a lot of harassment potential for Bomber coming up. And since True is just like slightly behind where he wants to be because that early pool didn't quite do what he wanted, this could be a very effective harassment that Bomber's going to pop out.
All right, we have Bomber just entering now into what is the mid game here in the TVZ. When he's going to have the medevacs coming out eventually. Yeah. It's a little bit more like the early game part of TVZ where the Hellions come out and he tries to just shave off some corners of the creep advancement.
This is a rather quick layer, by the way. He's skipping a 3rd base and instead getting layer, but against specifically Hellion Banshee, this can be quite strong. Like if he rushes up to the Spire, which it's looking like he's going to. We don't see a Roach Horn that should have started by now if he was going to go for quick Roach speed or something.
The double Evo chamber may just be there to be misleading.
Yeah, and it helps it with a wall, I guess, you know.
No,
so
he's getting range attack.
Oh. Oh,
Okay.
very cool.
Yeah,
okay.
this is
maybe
not what we thought it was going to be. But
is it going to be? Well, I mean, he should have made a Roach Warren, I would imagine.
well, yeah, I'm not crazy, right? He made 2 Evo chambers, right?
Yeah.
There were 2 there, but he's only using 1, and now he's getting the Spire.
Okay, that makes much more
Okay.
sense to me. But no Carapace, so now something is a little bit different or weird here because he's not getting anything to go with this ranged attack. He's getting no buildings to go with this ranged attack. Okay, there's the Roach Warren. So he has the Spire somewhere that maybe, I mean, is he faking with the Spire? Is he going to go some mutas into Roaches?
No, I think it's a fake.
You think the Spire's a fake?
I think the Spire's a fake. He's getting
Okay.
1/1 now.
Yeah, he has
and
to
a
be on
Roach Warren.
Roaches.
So I mean, if it is not a fake, then and he's actually going to go just straight into mutas. Then I mean, he's actually gone way overboard on trying to trick people.
Okay, so the Roach Warren is seen, but the Roach Warren isn't necessarily meaning that you're going to go for mass roaches. Sometimes you just get it against a build like this because it's hard to hold off Banshee Lion in your third. But
Whoa!
if I'm true here, I think I'm thinking this is roaches, and especially if you saw that start to wiggle.
I love how you talk. It does wiggle when it's upgrading.
it's
Yeah,
wiggling.
building gets a little bit wiggly.
Just like I get when I get excited.
Tosis does get a little wiggly when there's a good StarCraft game.
Ooh, this is annoying.
Yeah, well, this is a good move here by True. Just slow stuff down. Okay, so he takes out that Overlord. There's 7 mutas on the way. Okay, so this is
Yeah, he's like
this is a
preparing for a
weird-
giant roach switch, I guess. But
well,
like,
you know, I suppose you can just keep incrementing out the upgrades, and when the roach switch does happen, they're suddenly a lot stronger than you were expecting them to be.
well, you know what? He is going to end up going Mutiling, I think, because he's starting the Zergling upgrades as opposed to a +2, which would tell us that he'll eventually probably make a Hydralisk deck. So maybe he's going to pull the army around with these mutas and then run in with roaches somewhere and deal a lot of damage when things are out of position. Because if you're not in position against roaches, they kill you.
I think that might be exactly what he does here. Again, the muta's coming in here, and he's being very cautious around that turret. So Bomber is pretty good at snap repairing the turret before. He's going to just take out the SCVs that are around here by the gas. Oh my god! He gets 1 mine. Backing up now. He's going to be careful because you can get actually stuck up here.
Yeah.
Where the mutas actually can't leave without being gunned down by the turrets.
Well, 3 queens here are going to hold this very easily. Bomber microing at home, so... oh, wait. Well, there's medvacs and more things coming, so maybe not. But with those roaches,
a lot of
this is
roaches.
No problem. And in fact, these roaches going to crush this attack, and he has to fly out of here immediately.
See, True going for the opposite here of what happened last game. He's like, no, I will be upgraded this time around.
That's right. He's getting good upgrades. He has 1/1 for these roaches. He continues to build a lot of roaches as well. That third base is going to have to be lifted for Bomber. There's 0 way to hold that. Okay, he's already lifted. In fact, he knows that so well. And already +2 Carapace coming.
Yeah. Well, Bomber's going to have to reclaim this area over here. But I think for the time being, I mean, True has got this max that is so scary. I mean, he's so close to just hitting that 200.
Yeah.
200
yeah.
and
Could be there
not
in no
too
time.
much Bomber can do. Although, actually, these roaches getting stuck behind these minerals. Oh my god, that's huge.
That is huge.
Oh my god.
That is a gigantic victory right there.
That
He's
is
just,
wrecked, man.
yeah.
Rectorino.
Wrecked or not wrecked.
Pepperino.
Ouch. This
And
was
now,
actually.
oh my god.
This was a really cool
This
idea.
actually
and
might,
everything.
I think this might just cost him the game. I mean, look at how many roaches he's killing.
Yeah, that's really painful to lose that group. Like, he didn't. The thing is, if Bomber hadn't moved out immediately amongst upon those roaches moving back towards the third base, that would have worked perfect for True because he would have had a big flank. But instead, he moved out immediately. Like Bomber wasn't afraid. He's like, I can go kill those roaches right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, he's really like Bomber is just on key here today.
Oh my god, taking out all 3 of those queens. I don't know if Bomber can be stopped. He's moving down now. There's a small number of banelings here. I will say that angling could be good for the turret. Nope, I think it's very closer here. Okay, now they're stuck in between that baneling nest.
Well, the banelings are trying to come up and get some damage done.
And he can just pick up right here.
Kill that
And
off.
I thought he was going to run back a little bit quicker with that army up there at the top. But Bomber can just come back up to the top and regroup. Now, he's got to be careful because right now True has considerably large supply. And Bomber he might want to actually wait until he's closer to maxed out to be full-on engaging, because once Bomber gets maxed out, if you have this many roaches aren't that good compared to maxed out.
Very, very true on that. The higher supply you get against someone with a lot of roaches, the more ahead you get. So we'll see what he does. He has a lot of Marauders in here now, so decides that he can start to attack this army and push it back. Baneling speed not quite done yet. Okay, just finishes up, and he's going to have another upgrade. So still doing all right is True.
Yeah, True going to run back home here. I think True needs to take a 4th base pretty quickly here. He can't just sit on.
You know what I think?
What's up?
I think he is going to sit on 3. I think he's just going to make a ton of Banelings and just use
a
ton of Banelings with speed and +2.
I think you might be right. He has a decent amount of gas. He just makes links, maxes out, and just has like a ridiculous amount of Banelings.
Yeah, he can
he
get
might
the
be able
army
to just
against
smash Bomber's army.
Yeah, like no matter how far back Bomber runs, he can only save so many units that the medevacs have room for if we see just massive amounts of Banelings made. Now, he is making 6 mutas, so it's not going to be as many Banelings as I was thinking, actually, but still, this is a very scary army. Okay,
the Roaches and the Banelings all grouped up here in the center of the map. The Muta's going to come around here, probably hoping to pull some more Terran forces into the main before this big attack comes up to try to smash Bomber. There's Bomber with that snap repairman.
Yep, a lot of SCs do fall down. Doesn't want to lose these mutas. He still needs them because eventually drop harassment should start again, I guess. Well, it's kind of a weird game right now, so he can't do it yet, but as he maxes out, definitely wants to get that back going.
We haven't seen much of Bomber's vision, but you got to assume he's been scanning for expansions probably for a while, and it's like, oh, okay, I just have to sit back and defend.
Yeah, I mean, the 4th base is really slow here. But he's maxed out now, Tasis, and he's going for it.
Can Bomber stop this death ball? Here come the Roaches, the Banelings, the Mutas now. This army forking out here at a really good angle actually here for Bomber. I mean, look at this. There's no way this are going to get the surface area that they need. That was beautifully done. So immediately True sends his army towards the main, but then decides otherwise. He backs up, seeing that there was enough there from Bomber that, I mean, True might have lost the whole game there.
Yeah.
Had he gone up there. Supplies, though, 130 to 170. So really, True is floating at this high supply level.
Yeah.
Even after losing engagements like that, he pretty much is terrifying to engage on the map.
He is, especially if it's on creep. If it's on creep, he wins that battle. But, you know, a big chunk of his supply is still left in Roaches, which aren't getting further upgrades other than that Carapace. So his army not quite as strong as it may look. I would say Bomber's army is a little bit better, but the more Banelings he makes, the scarier it gets. It's just the long-term ramifications of this type of army are not good. Like when you're using a ton of Banelings instead of making extra mutas and you're still on a lot of Roaches, it's a very strong army for like a battle or so. But after that, I mean, you're losing your army to kill his army. And, I mean, you've got to make a really strong move here. Looks like it's going to be a big flank, Tasis. This is actually really smart. Look at this. He's going to do a giant flank of Roachbane.
Just so you guys know, if True doesn't start to win this pretty quickly, Bomber is going to have a lead here in the long run. But these big attacks are pretty scary. Hitting from 2 sides now. The Roaches completely wrecking the upper left side of the 3rd base. Meanwhile, Roaches and Mutas coming here now, but they may be sandwiched between some more Marines and Medevacs. The CC picks up, or you can see how spread out all this action is. There's microing going on multiple fronts right now.
He doesn't retreat these Roaches at a 3rd, though, so another group of Roaches do get eliminated. In fact, that's probably the end of any Roaches we'll see in this game. It's all right, 31
Well,
Banes.
this is it, yeah. Well, it's like we were saying earlier. I mean, he really wanted to smash Bomber in a specific moment, but the longer you're going for Roaches in a TVZ, the further behind you're getting.
Yeah.
Eventually, there's just too many Marauders, there's too many Marines, there's too many Medevacs. And you got to think of stem attack rate while being healed.
Yeah.
And the longer range.
Oh, yeah.
Kidding me, Tosis?
Not kidding me, Tasis. All right, let's see here. He has a lot of Banelings.
That's actually a ridiculous amount of Banelings.
And he does roll in. Will be able to clean this up, but at quite a high cost.
Wow, he actually is going to wipe that out. This is 80 supply to 125.
Wow.
That was
GG.
Wow.
Such a
True
different game.
Yeah, well,
you know,
he did keep Bomber on 3 bases and barely got that 4th out. And then when Bomber tried to come across,
2 almost. Like the amount of times he made Bomber run away was quite significant there. So, kind of a crazy game. Good play there by True, but really good play by Bomber at certain points as well. I was really impressed with how brave he was to chase those roaches to the third. That really gave him a shot to the point where I thought he might win this game.